What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Anime Casuals, our weekend talk at number 5. This is just a little update that we're going to put before all the weekend talk videos, just to let you know where we're going. So, I just got employment pretty recently, so I'm probably going to be going full time. So, I'm going to cut back on the videos just a little bit. So, we won't actually announce a weekly schedule, but you can expect to see roughly about at least one a week. But we're going to shoot for about two, and we'll see how that goes. So, don't forget, if you do subscribe, don't hide your subscription so we can give you a shout out before these weekend talks. And let's get straight to the video. Weekend talk number 5. What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Casuals. I'm Lucky.
I'm Michael.
I'm Johnny.
And we make up Anime Casuals. So today, we're going to start off our talk with not just talk about anime. But I didn't actually tell these guys what I was going to bring up in the beginning of this. But it's been out for about a week, maybe even 2 weeks at this point. Our reactions to Kiss Anime going bankrupt. Oh my god. So I figured, since everybody else is talking about this right now, I figured we'd give our thoughts. I don't know if you guys were ever users on this. I was a huge user in the anime piracy whole thing, because this was before I really I had a debit or credit card, so I was like, how am I gonna watch Naruto now? And you look it up online, like watch Naruto for free, and Kiss Anime would come up, and it started off as kissanime.com, and then it went into .ru, all these other things to avoid laws. So yeah, what did you guys think about them going bankrupt, and what do you guys think about the future of free anime for the public?
Free.
Yeah, free.
I actually didn't know they had went bankrupt. I heard something happened to them, like they just weren't going to be around anymore because someone was like, "Rip, Kiss Anime." So, I didn't too much, but I definitely like being able to try and find other sources for anime, or at least more obscure anime. I mean, granted, there are other options, Verve and Funimation, but I don't know. Sometimes you can't always do those.
Yeah. I'm just more upset about the fact that there's a website that showed anime that you can't get here. I mean, that's rare. That's the rare and in between things. And, I guess as an official YouTube personality, I should probably be a little frowning on torrenting and stuff like that. But I mean, if you live in the States, there's just certain anime you don't get because the licensing is terrible, and it's either, I guess, was it Katana Gatari? I mean, it's either spend $300 to watch that, or find a website that shows it off for free, and Kiss Anime could be one of those. I haven't looked up Katana Gatari, but it's like, how else are you going to watch anime that you absolutely can't watch here? And
yeah, that's true. I can't. I just realized. I mean, I don't know. I need to look at it again. But Interspecies Reviewers, that used to be on Funimation. No more. It was on some other site. I don't know if that was Kiss Anime, but I mean, if it was, I might be in trouble.
You might be upset.
Yeah, I can't watch it.
Yeah. So it's kind of a letdown. I'm hoping with the other new news that's out, Lucky, that Toei Animation and a bunch of other studios are actually banding together and putting their anime on YouTube for free? Question mark?
So that was the next thing that I was going to get to. So Anime Log is a studio that has Toei Animation and a couple other ones, and basically they're going to release their kind of anime, which I'm actually. It makes you wonder, right? Like where how far is this going to go? Because I was reading all these headlines like Crunchyroll and Funimation or quaking in their boots and all that kind of stuff, but it makes me kind of wonder what people are trying to achieve, because I'm also, I mean, obviously you can get revenue from YouTube. I mean, obviously that's every YouTuber's kind of thing going on right now. That's why people upload their podcasts and do all this kind of stuff on YouTube. But I also wonder because technology's gotten so weird right now. I used to be able to put turn on my TV and wake up super early to watch the Mega Man, the original Mega Man, on Kids WB or something like that at 6:30 in the morning, and just be like, whoa, this is awesome. And now you have streaming services, but if that streaming service doesn't have it, then you have to go to Amazon Prime. If Amazon Prime doesn't have it, you have to go to Funimation. If Funimation doesn't have it, then you have to go to Hulu. It's like, there's just not one spot for all of these studios to come together. So, I mean, what do you guys think about like the changing of technology and the way anime is streamed now?
Yeah, at least not in the States. I mean, if you lived in Japan, you could actually get a lot of that on everything. Like Netflix has like everything on there because licensing laws are different over in other countries. The United States is very strict about it. So, I mean, I personally hate it. It's really annoying. I think everybody should just pick the one that they, that's easiest for them, and then that should have everything on it. Obviously, that's a little more monopolistic, having one company control that. But I also don't see a reason why that one company needs to have the license and another company can't. So I'm like, if they want to license it, they should be able to pay that person money so that they can use it and have everybody use what they want to use. I don't like the whole licensing is only to one company because they got it. It's like, it's so restrictive. So me personally, the further technology gets, I feel like the more accessible everything's going to be, as long as it is less restrictive. And I'm really crossing my fingers it goes that way. Or we just move to Japan. Here we go. Yeah, I don't know. That's my own personal thoughts, because I really dislike bumping from one service to the other. I'm fine with VRV and Funimation. Not so fine with VRV, Amazon, Funimation, Crunchyroll. Even on VRV and Crunchyroll, same thing. And then Netflix, and then YouTube, and there's too many.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it was more consolidated, or I don't know if that's the right word actually, but
that is
just grouped up together better. But I don't know. I mean, that's why I don't know why Funimation left Verve when it did so long ago. Well, okay, so then that's the issue. We just got to get rid of all the money, burn it. Everyone, burn your money. Do it now. Do it. Don't do it.
Where's the Joker?
Probably don't do it. $1, but even then, probably not.
Yeah, I think that's defacing government property, which is a crime. So we're not telling you to do that, but we might be telling you what to do that. But
burn others' money.
Figuratively, burn your money. Oh my God, our new casual website. So I was, for me, it's just become so confusing now. It's just, but it's just so great because we get to watch. You don't have to tune in, like I was saying, when I woke up at like 6 o'clock to watch Mega Man, which, I mean, kind of seems like a weird reason to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, but I couldn't watch it any other time. It literally was so old that you couldn't watch it any other time. But yeah, so I guess, streaming does have its pros and cons, and we'll see what the future of anime brings us. Hopefully it's a bright future.
I have a quick thing for anybody out there who is having trouble managing all this. There's actually a website called because.moe out there that you can, most anime, you could type in there and it says what streaming services is actually on. It's very, very useful website. But I typed in again to bring it up Katana Gatari, and it was just like, nope, no search results. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh. So it doesn't work for everything, but it does work. Like if you're like, well, I want to watch Naruto, where can I find Naruto? It's like, well, you can find it on all these websites. So for Lucky, since it's very confusing, you watch that, go on that website and check it out.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I usually like Google it up. I'm just like, where do I watch this? And it'll usually tell me some BS stuff that's like way outdated because ever since Funimation and Crunchyroll have split, like Funimation's got some, Crunchyroll's got some. But let's go ahead and get off the current events. And well, actually, we're going to keep on the current events, but we're going to switch it over to anime that we've been watching. What have you guys been keeping up with?
I don't think much. I mean, we watched Re:Zero. We watched Fire Force, which was awesome. Fire Force was great.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been watching too much on my own. I keep trying to watch Cells at Work, and Netflix screwed up. Their dubbing is off, and it bothers me. I can't watch it. It's off by like half a second.
Yeah. Hey, current events.
Switch to sub.
High Dive is also off with their subtitles because if you try to watch it on consoles, the subtitles don't exist. So more current events. Get on your shit, High Dive.
Yeah, Peter Grill is difficult.
Yeah, he's trying to watch Peter Grill. He's trying to watch TNA. And he can't see it because there's no subtitles. And, while you could definitely assume everything about Peter Grill just from watching it, he still wants the words there, which is funny because it's him.
It's the plot. That's what I'm saying.
Plot development, though.
Yeah. I watched 1 episode or 2 episodes of Log Horizon with Anime Josh next to me, and then quickly stopped watching it because there's other people in the room. And then I watched another episode of Hiro no Sora, and I just, my video just came out about that, and it's continuing to be really cool. I would say the only comment about it that people have been talking about, at least in the comment section of VRV, which is like 20 people, but like a lot of them have been like, well, it's a little bit of slow anime, and I'm like, hey, if Haikyuu can have like an 8-episode run in one game,
yeah, one season was.
You can watch it about basketball, which I think is longer than a typical volleyball match. Volleyball, new game I'm making. Volleyball.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Sports
that's casuals. It's been slow for me this week. I've been pretty busy.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just finished. So I binge watched this one, and I actually, I was looking for anime last night on Verve. I was looking at like Crunchyroll or HIDIVE or something like that. I actually found out it was on both of those, and I was like, wow, I went all the way to Amazon Prime because I was looking up like top Amazon Prime animes, and it's called Sagrada Reset, and it's a very interesting anime, just like a real brief thing. It's this town that has a bunch of superpowers, but for some reason, whenever somebody leaves the town, they forget that they ever had the superpower. And in order to activate a superpower, you need to willingly want to use it. And so whenever people leave the town, they just don't have it anymore. And so nobody knows about this town. And there's a lot of mysteries about it, but it's a very cool anime. And I got super sucked in. It's legit. Almost every other episode just talks about a philosophical problem. Stuff that I actually haven't. I never thought were going to be applicable, but just because of the nature of the anime and how crazy it is, because it has superpowers, a lot of these things, like there's this one called Swampman theory, which is a lightning bolt hits a man in a swamp, and then another person gets reborn, and they have all the memories of the person that died. Is that person the same person, or is that a different person? And do you treat them as such? So very different, very really heavy philosophical ideas. But when you actually put it with superpowers, you're like, oh, I actually have to think about this. It's not just some stupid hypothetical anymore. So yeah, it's very interesting anime. Also, last night while I was looking at anime, I started watching this one called Cromartie High School, and I was watching the first episode. I was like, I don't know if I like this dubbed, and like within I think 10 seconds, basically this kid is put into this high school where a bunch of the delinquent kids are at, and they're all thrown in there. And literally this kid's like, he's like, I don't know how I got thrown in here. And he's like, if you want to know, read the manga. I was like, what? And it's super like fourth wall breaking, that kind of stuff. But like one of the first scenes is like,
a bit angry.
Yeah, one of the first scenes is literally him, like, he has a pencil and he drops it by accident. And some other kid picks it up and just eats it. And he was like, so instead of going like, oh my god, that's weird, he literally picks up his whole pencil case that has like 20 pencils in it, drops it on the guy's desk, and the guy's like,
there you go.
So yeah, really great. They have the craziest characters. There's, not joking, there's a gorilla in the school. There is a man that looks like Freddie Mercury that they call him Freddie, and there is a robot. So a very interesting cast of characters. Also, some very interesting language use. Very, very, very harsh. If any of you are sensitive to that kind of thing, then yeah, I wouldn't recommend watching it. But it has some very harsh language in there. But excellent. So yeah, what are we looking forward to in the future? I know you guys looked up a couple of anime that were coming out later, but
oh dude, I didn't even know that the 4th season of Attack on Titan was coming out soon.
The final season.
The final season. Oh, yeah. Nice. And when we were looking at it, it was like spoiler. I was like, no.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what you're doing. I just like became ignorant to the world. It's great. I don't know any spoilers.
Yeah, that and the Demon Slayer movie coming out, but that's all in October. So I don't want to talk about that for 4 weeks while we're building up to that. But yeah, I'm tentatively excited about both those things coming out soon. And then I'm getting back into the Log Horizon, so I'm kind of excited about watching that.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those animes that I feel like if you fall off for like at the wrong part, it doesn't bring you back in. Like if you fall off after a huge battle and they're just like, hey, why don't we make some curry or something like that? You're just like, I don't know if I want to watch this. So yeah, it's definitely a big commitment, but I commend you for going forward. I remember in one of our previous weekend talks, you said you're probably going to be in episode 7 by in a month, but here you are, even further than that. So yeah. So yeah, why don't we start off with Re:Zero, the one that just came out this Wednesday, which at this point would be yesterday, but September 2nd, I believe, at this point. Yeah, what did you guys think of the episode? Just to give a quick synopsis, and be careful for spoilers. I actually started putting subtitles down here saying, where to skip, so I'll probably put that right over here. General synopsis of the episode. Crazy stuff happens, and we meet like 5 witches, all including the Witch of Envy. What? What? What is going on?
Yeah, my brain exploded.
Oh my god, dude! And Garfield's good again, because he doesn't remember being a dick. Yeah. So what? I mean, what did you guys take from that episode? Because there was a lot to unfold or unpack.
I'm guessing game for me.
Dude, we had to pause, and I had to be like, dude, okay, who did we just see? Okay, we saw this person, this person, this person, this person. Oh wait, and the person who's talking. Okay, who are we missing? And then we're like, okay, these 3 people. And then we kept watching, and we're like, oh, no, there's
another. Yeah, 3 or 4 times.
Dude, and like my brain was, I was bottled. My brain was bottled, not boggled, bottled.
It's mind-boggling.
Did you just say mind-boggling?
Just hard introduce everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
To be like, bam, this person, and I just want to know more. I don't know. It worked on me, so it just looks all crazy.
And theoretically, the other 2 witches we didn't see have to be in the same area because they're dead, potentially, right? So I mean, like, if he goes, well, definitely gonna happen a 3rd time because like they foreshadowed the fuck out of it. They're like, hey, if you ever come here a 3rd time, really think about it. Okay, it's gonna happen the 3rd time. Okay, we got it. I'm really hoping that we see the other 2 witches, and like, what was the last one? Was it Lust and potentially Sloth?
Yeah, I think that's what we're missing.
Yeah. The whole time, Johnny and I were confused because the first little girl came out, and we're like, "Is that Gluttony?" No.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
And then the next girl came out, we're like, "Is that Gluttony?"
Yeah, I just thought she was Wrath. And then the third one, the third witch that shows up, I didn't know. I was scared. I didn't know if she was either Lust or Sloth, because Lust would have been a weird like lolly thing, like. I wasn't going to be into that.
Lolly BDSM thing.
And then Sloth, because it was like, she's kind of in a coffin. Maybe it's just for, like, to
sleeping?
be in bed. Yeah, like sleeping. I don't know. But then, she wasn't any of that, and she was creepy.
And she was drooling the whole time. I think that was her biggest giveaway.
It was a couple... It was confusing.
I didn't like her. She was creepy.
But yeah, and then I found out she was Gluttony, and that's awful and terrifying.
Yeah.
And what do you guys think about the, I mean, first off, the fact that she made, like, all 3 of the craziest freaking animals to ever roam the earth. What do you guys think about that?
Dude, and they're all just based on the fact that she's hungry?
Yeah.
Dude, okay, wait, hold on. Before we get to the other 2, what do you think the black serpent is?
No, I was kidding. I have
the
to...
glasses. Bring him down on his eye.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, I was I don't know, I was thinking about it and I was like, man, I just can't really understand it. But I thought she gave an interesting idea, of the fact like, hey, you'll never go hungry because, the white whale's freaking huge. I mean, technically it kind of does the same thing that the Grabbits do because it has multiple white whales, it can multiply itself. But and I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. And then she's like, well, you can't expect to eat and not expect to not be eaten. And I was like, Don't you try and philosophize this, you stupid witch. But yeah, it was one of those things. As for the Black Serpent, I wonder if there's like a theme with these, because we had the whale, we had tiny bunny rabbits, and then we have a serpent. But I'm trying to figure it out. I mean, the interesting thing, I don't know if this is Japanese in general, but when I heard her say serpent, she said hebi, which means snake. So I don't know if snake and serpent are interchangeable in Japanese, like as that. But because serpent's a very like it's a very like it has a lot of meanings to it. Like you wouldn't call a dragonite a snake probably. Yeah. You'd think it like of it, but yeah, I don't know what the Black Serpent would be. I feel like it would have to be another huge freaking thing to feed everybody, because if we're going off the theme, it would have to be something like that. But I just don't know where she's getting these ideas from.
Going back, whether it's going to be like a metaphorical thing, or if it's going to be like physically just a giant like Jormungandr snake.
That's what I was thinking, like an endless snake.
That's what I initially thought. It's just trying to eat itself.
Yeah. That's all I was like. Although I was trying to like you were saying, like if it's based culturally, I mean, if the white whale maybe is like a Moby Dick thing. Or if it's like more, there's something in Japanese culture that I just don't know. But like I was thinking about like, okay, is there an eternal snake or something like that in Japanese culture? I don't know, but I was like, that's the only thing I could think was something endless or something multi-headed that you just keep like a hydra where you chop off the head and then it grows a new one.
I wonder if it's going to be some kind of like infectious mood thing. I don't know. I'm not saying it how I want to say it. But I feel like it might just, I don't know, harm people or take over people beyond, literally eating things.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it'll feed on something, like emotion or something. I don't know. I'm trying to go be demented. Giant whale. I don't expect them to do a giant snake. So giant whale, infinite rabbits. Those are all big things. So I'm trying to think mass fear. I don't know, something weird like that. It's really vague, and I have no idea where I'm going with it. We're just gonna have to see. But
speaking of the bass rabbits, because the white whale we're done with, it was creepy, it was crazy. A tree got dropped on, it's dead. But the whole infinite rabbits, where he then realized that all the clothes that were there were just left over from the rabbits. I'm like, that is messed up. Also, how'd those rabbits eat those people without messing up their clothes?
Yeah, you know what I was thinking, because you know how when the white whale kills somebody, it removes them from people's memory, because that's kind of something that happens with gluttony. The only problem is it doesn't affect Subaru, so I don't know where I'm gonna go with this whole thing. But yeah, I wonder what happens when the rabbits eat people. Like, do they also get erased from people's memories, or do people freaking remember, like, oh dude, that guy got messed up by those rabbits? You remember that, right? Yeah, I remember that. Whereas anybody that gets killed by the white whale, everybody's like, yo, who the hell was that guy? But yeah, I wonder if there's like some weird meaning to that. Actually, something else I wanted to bring up to you guys. What do you guys think about? I've watched, we've watched so much anime, and what do you guys think of the embodiment of sins in anime? So we have obviously Full Metal Alchemist. It's 7 Deadly Sins. Then we have this one, and there's a couple more. I know there's a couple that I don't want to watch because they, let's just say they look like Johnny's kind of anime. But
I think I know what you're talking about, and I've seen it.
So we have a lot of those, but it pops up so much. What do you guys think of people or animators actually like putting personalities to these sins? And also, I was in oh my god, I cannot Dandelion, Castletown Dandelion. There was a girl that she could make clones of herself, but they all embodied a different one of the sins, basically. Yeah. So yeah, what do you guys think about this whole big thing of just using these 7 sins? I mean, I should say from the Bible. It's not really exactly a Japanese thing, but it's a universal thing. So yeah, what do you guys think about it?
I think it's really fun. I enjoy every time I see it. Although, like thinking about like the 7 deadly sins, they don't, at least to me, they don't exactly exemplify that. Like Diana's what's Diana?
The serpent sin of not greed.
Wrath? Envy. Like, I mean, she's jealous, but I mean, that's not her whole personality. But I do like it when it's like Full Metal Alchemist or like this one, where they're like, that is them. Like, they are the epitome of those sins, and I enjoy that a lot. I mean, I love Seven Deadly Sins, but I like when they're the epitome of that, like how Greed is in Full Metal, where he's like, I want everything. And the same with Echidna and Re:Zero. She's like, I want to know everything. It's all mine. It should be in my head. Like, I love that because then you get these like quirky things that come out of these characters that really, they go really well for, you know, having a personality.
Yeah, it definitely adds the personality. And I guess thinking about it now with how many different iterations there are, I think if anything, I just like seeing how it's, what's the word I'm trying to think of? How it's put forth. Just seeing the different iterations, you know, like you were saying, Greed from Brotherhood, you know, he's got his thing where he just wants everything. Then there's like Bond from Seven Deadly, and he literally has a power that just lets him take stuff. So it's definitely cool to see how people choose to portray those sins. And I think there's something almost like weirdly alluring, like, ooh, sins, and I think that works for people. So, yeah, I definitely don't have a problem with it. Hopefully, it doesn't get like oversaturated.
Yeah, they might go in the same direction that Seven Deadly did, where they were like, "Hey, we're gonna flip it to the Ten Commandments." Which I'm also like, well, they're not the Ten Commandments. They're not representative of each commandment. But I mean, like, wait, is that the name?
Yeah,
yeah, that's the command. Yeah. And they had a lot of fun with that, and that was really cool. I mean, each one of them, like, their curse is representative of that. But I mean, like, I don't feel like their personality is exactly each of the commandments. It's more like their curse that's been befallen them. So that I like that play that Seven Deadly did. I wish more people would go with the commandment route, you know, because I think that would be really fun. Just to have a whole another set. But, you know, obviously don't try to copy Seven Deadly exactly. But
funny enough, that the one you were talking about, I think it's literally called Seven Deadly Sins. There is I don't know if I want to call it an offshoot, but in the same vein, it's the Seven Heavenly Virtues. Yeah, I haven't watched that one.
I know exactly which one you're talking. That was actually the one I was thinking about, but I forgot there was the Seven Deadly Sins one. Yeah.
Yeah, so, that'd be fun.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, let's. If you guys are just tuning in right here, you wanted to skip the Re:Zero spoilers. So we're past all that. Now we're gonna go into some Fire Force spoilers. So if you want to skip all that, I'll put a subtitle right here of a place that you can skip to. And oh my god, you're scaring them away, man. You're scaring them away. So yeah, that last episode. Did you guys expect? I'm gonna call him Lucio for right now. But did you expect him to go ham like that? Like, I was like, oh dude, this guy's gonna get his freaking skateboard, do some cool thing. No, he's gonna get tattoos and start messing this guy up for like. I mean, granted, he's not gonna be able to give him a finishing blow, but to have that kind of like. I mean, I think they even compared it to the squad captain, which I was like, oh god, that's that's pretty gnarly.
He is as powerful, I think, is what they said.
Yeah, it's probably just not as sustainable, but yeah, it's crazy. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I think he said something like he can be as powerful. That was insane. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, last week in the last talk, I said I wanted to see what that guy can do, and I literally got it. I think we watched it maybe that day or maybe the next day, and it was great. That guy is insane, and he was super fun to watch. And his power is crazy.
I really also like the other part with what's our main dude? What's his name? Shinra, yeah. Shinra Tensei. That's all, I always gotta say that after his name. I loved like his little conversation. I almost called her a witch, but we gotta get off the Re:Zero talk. I loved his like conversation with the pillar of the sub Amaterasu. Like he's like, she's like, I don't have power. I only got power for like a second. And he's like, oh, a second, eh? That's enough time. I got it. And I'm like, oh, you main character shonens, you guys are crazy. I was like Naruto. Dude, I swear I've seen like that with Naruto like 5 times. Where he's like, ugh, 5 seconds. That's enough time for me to win the whole battle. I'm like, dude, I'm really digging it.
It was definitely a crazy reveal. Finding out what was in that. Is the thing called Amaterasu?
That's what the other one called.
The reactor is what I'm going to call it?
Yeah, they're just, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, seeing that, like, it was a person inside that. That was kind of crazy.
Hey, who called that, like, 3 weeks ago? That was me. I said that all the Dolopers people were pillars, and they got to be in the thing. So, score 1 from Michael.
I'm going to delete that from the previous weekend talk so you can't prove that. So, anyway. Yeah, so, well, it was kind of interesting. So that does mean that there is somebody in the Amaterasu that they have back in Japan, like there, because it's actively working right now. So there has to be somebody in there. Obviously, somebody very powerful, too, if they're, like, letting off that much heat. Because, you know, obviously the one in the forest is, you know, keeping it up. But it's, yeah, but I was just like, oh, my God, like. But yeah, it does beg some questions, right? So does that mean, I think there's supposed to be like what, eight pillars or something in total? So does that mean that there's 8, you know, these reactors, these Amaterasus out there for each one of these people to be in, and then once they're all together, they just blow up, or you know, they do like something like the Great Cataclysm. I keep on wanting to saying Cataclysm because of that stupid girl.
World of Warcraft Cataclysm.
When she was doing that World of Warcraft stupid thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of like curious about like what the evangelists are gonna be doing, you know, with all this stuff. Like, I mean, if they just want the world to burn, I mean, that's cool and everything, but I mean, I feel like they have to have like a better end game than that. You know, it's gotta be something more like, oh, we're just gonna control all these pillars, and you know, kind of like kind of a spoiler for Naruto is kind of what the Akatsuki wanted. They originally wanted, which was to, you know, have like a mercenary for people to rely on their tailed beast weapons so that they get all this, you know, funding, and they control basically the world because they have the most powerful weapon on Earth. But yeah, I mean, it's it's definitely getting cool. And I one of the things that threw me off was Juggernaut. You remember when he got impaled and he's just like, oh, I got a bunch of layers. I was like, where is your actual body? Like, where are you? Just like,
ridiculous.
Are you layered in your, like, it looked like he was like this, like in his own like thing, because it was like, how are you not over there? Like, I'm a little confused about
his
where you
arms
actually
are still
are.
out.
Yeah, I'm so confused.
He's not human. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got 0 spine. He's just jelly on there.
The only other thing I'm like wondering about is like, so that main lady who took over Shinra's body, like, is she the one who's in the Amaterasu, or is she just another, like, is she like just another lady who's just out and about because she's like the other pillar, like the first pillar or something like that? And you know, there's a lot of questions, and that's why I really like Fire Force. It gives you more questions than it answers constantly, and it keeps exploring. And the only other thing I want to know is, what the hell is the people like with Joker and his crew? What's their goal? Like, because we've seen in the theme a couple times where it's like him and the captain of the first one with the eyes and stuff like that, whatever. Like, I don't even want to spoil myself. I'm like, just tell me later. But like, what are they trying to accomplish? Like, are they trying to help the evangelists? Are they trying to hurt them? Are they like a secret like underground society who's like, well, actually, were you the good guys the whole time? Or like, are they actually got an even crazier plot that they're like, yeah, actually, we want to fuse all the factories together and make, I don't know, like, they're so mysterious at this point. And I love them.
Johnny?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of motives. And I mean, you said it could be like monetary, like the Akatsuki, but I don't know. They could just be religious activists, or not activists, extremists. I don't know. The way they're like the evangelists, you know? I mean, it almost seems heavily religious. I mean, exactly. There's the whole religion of, you know, Latom and stuff. So I don't know. It could be interesting to see where it goes. I mean, it'd be nice to see it have some kind of like higher thing than just praise the fire.
Dude, praise fire, man. Praise fire.
You know, we'll see.
Oh, dude, I would love to, like, they keep going into the, like, new countries. Maybe they go over to the United States, or maybe they keep going into, like, where China is, and they just find giant demons just, like, walking around and be like, oh, my God, the world is gone.
Yeah, I can't wait until they go into like other like what you were saying, like other like continents and countries and stuff, just to see how different. Because China is way different than Japan was. So
Yeah.
we'll see what the future holds. So let's move on real quick to One Piece. The last episode showed us. Well, it was mostly actually. I think in one of the previous weekend talks, I think it was Johnny that was like, "I really hope they don't like hold this guy's execution for like a couple episodes." I was like, "Okay, they did hold it for this one. It doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't look like they're gonna keep doing that." But I was like,
2 of 5. We're gonna have 3 more episodes of this guy nearly dying.
He got shot already, so he's like one step closer.
Did he get shot, or was that the preview?
Oh no, he got like skimmed on his head.
Yeah, it was skimmed on his head. Yeah.
Which I also say, what a crazy shot that person made. Like, how do you make a shot so accurate? You just skim a person's head and they're not dead.
Exactly. They're a plant and they're gonna free it. No, probably.
Then again, with that guy's hair, maybe you just shoot for the afro and you're just like. Shh. It's like, oh my god, that was.
It's all his head.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. So it was. I mean, we learned a lot this episode. His true identity. He was a daimyo, I believe is what it was called, of a certain place in Wano, and was actually. Odin. Yeah, Odin was alluding to the fact that if Odin wasn't there, or if Odin didn't go back, he was like, "You're probably the one that could take my father's throne." I was like, "Oh god, that's some crazy stuff." So yeah, we learned a lot about him. In the next episode, who knows? It's a very, it seems very like interesting where it's going right now. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Did you guys watch the preview for the next episode or no?
I was gonna say, isn't that the one where he gets shot up a couple times?
It's literally called The Secret Behind the Smile, and I'm like, finally, they're going to, eventually talk about why everybody's smiling. And I was like,
and laughing, and
yeah. I mean, I felt like there was something more to it, but I was, I mean, obviously there's more to it, but you just kind of think like, oh, we laugh when we're in poverty because we have to look up on the bright side. Like that's kind of what I determined it for. But, obviously there's a lot more in there. But is that like, have any of the questions that you guys have had, have they actually been answered? Throughout this whole thing, or is it kind of like you, Johnny, where you're just like, hurry up with this execution so we can keep going with like some more things?
I don't know. I don't feel like I've had too many things answered, though. I haven't had too many questions either. I mean, it's more like I'm more just curious about things that are kind of going on. Like, I'm curious about the guy who cut the whatever her name is.
Sister of Momo.
Yes.
Yeah.
The lead Oron. Cut her like somehow without killing her. I think there's something there, but I don't know what. And I'm also just curious to see more fruits and stuff like that. My curiosity is more general, if anything.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I feel like I'm gonna have enough time to kind of watch and saturate into the whole, this crazy backstory. Though I'm wondering if, like, in these next 3 episodes, because like I said, 2 out of 5, we're gonna meet I don't know, like, anybody's name except for like Luffy and Zoro. Little girl, the smiling little girl.
Yeah, Toko.
Her mom. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we might see her in the flashback, and that's again the reason for his smile or something. Like
I mean, we might also find out if that girl's actually a guy, like he keeps proposing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, I've been claiming that there's this. I'll put a picture of her right here. But I've been straight up just because every time they show the flashbacks, they show a really tall dude that has her haircut, and every single time I see him, I'm like, yo, that's a dude, and she's freaking tall. So I'm like, yo, man, I think this is a trap, and I'm kind of confident now, dude. I've watched about 2 or 3 animes so far, like within the last 3 or 4 weeks, and there's been 3 out of 4 traps, bro. There have been so many traps, just waiting for me to just fall in and be like, oh, dude, I think that's my favorite girl. And then you're just like, yeah, that's my favorite boy. And, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I wish it would be like a little bit more upfront if it is, but that's just a crazy theory that I have. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was just the idea that this guy never used to smile before. Apparently, like that was what he was known for. He was known for his very stern demeanor, And I really like that they showed that flashback of him and then going over to here and also, you know, they let him talk like a lot more than, you know, I was like, oh my God, they're letting this guy talk a lot. I mean, they could just, you know, put some, I don't know if they have duct tape over there, but they gotta have like a duct tape fruit, or, you know, that guy from My Hero that has the tape for the elbows.
Duct tape fruit?
I don't know. I see some lame fruits. And it's gotta be out there, but yeah, he got away with saying a whole lot, but I think that was mostly what was in that, episode, but anything else you guys wanted to add?
No, it was another episode where they're slowing back down to tell a story, which I always appreciate. You know, like I want to know a little bit more about the guy who stole Zoro's swords. You know, I want to know a little bit more about the Emperor family, like exactly why they all ended up where they ended up. Like, why sister ended up being like the lead escort lady, and like why that was the path she chose. And you know, has she secretly been working undercover to get everything in place for your rebellion, or is she just, you know, what's going on? And you know, what's going on with Kaido? Like what is his plans right now? Like, most of what he was working towards, making a full like animal army, has died after the Smile Factory got exploded, and after Luffy's gotten in his way like repeatedly. And I also am like wondering, why doesn't he just kill Luffy? Because we have seen that happen in One Piece so far, is like potential deaths. Like Big Mom, she has no problem killing people or putting them under her thumb. And
that's the thing, I don't know what she's gonna do.
Yeah. Go ahead. Well, yeah, and like, what is Kaido gonna do with Big Mom? And we've seen some partial spoilers in the theme, but like that's a huge question I have. And it also seems like Big Mom is like right on the tipping point to where she's gonna freak out.
She gets too hungry, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, like, Luffy ate all her red bean soup, and so, you know,
that's what I'm worried about. She's gonna look at Luffy and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you." But more than likely, she's gonna be like, "Oh, who are you?"
And
it's just super simple.
Because she's still in the story, I wonder if she's ever gonna realize that she ate all her friends when she was a kid.
That's a big revelation to think about. Yeah, yeah, at least for me, I mean, I think I'm kind of like you, Johnny. I'm not asking too many questions because Oda puts so much detail into. For those of you who don't know, Oda's the lead story person for One Piece. But like every single character has some type of meaning, and some characters you don't even think. Like if you even think about it, like way back then, Blackbeard was just a guy that you met, and then like I think he was nobody. Like they met him. Yeah, he liked pies, and you know he was like, "Yeah, you guys are real pirates." You know, these guys won the battle, even though they got the crap beat out of them. You know, that kind of thing. And then we met, you know, Jesus Burgess. You know, he was just on a on top of like one of these stupid buildings. And then all of a sudden, they're like the biggest people in like all of One Piece. So yeah, it's coming along very nicely. You know, even just recently we just had I'm gonna butcher this guy's name, but he's basically the guy that had the invisible fruit, and he came back because they got his fruit. I was like, what? People are coming back all over. I mean, we saw Moria too. Like, what in the world? This is some crazy stuff. So, yeah. I mean, I always appreciate that kind of level of depth.
He was dead.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously not. I guess Jinbei didn't do a good enough job, but I'm sorry. I think it was somebody else after Jinbei whooped that ass. But yeah, so if you guys want, you can take a look at Michael's Ahiro no Sora that came out, Ahiro no Sora episode that came out a little bit earlier in the week. And my episode of Anime Poetry will be yesterday about Rising of the Shield Hero and Hell is Other People. And I don't know what we have coming up in the next couple of weeks, but we'll figure it out as we go along. As always, guys, remember, keep it casual.